Okay, so Ian told me to come and share with you guys about Iron Man and passion. I'm like, Iron Man and passion? No. How about Spider-Man and passion, right? How about Superman and passion? But then I did my research and I read a comic book called Civil War #2. Have you heard of it?
No.
Civil War #2. Who's read it or heard about Civil War #2? All the nerds in the house? Only the true Marvel nerds will know what I'm talking about. So, I want to talk about Iron Man, aka Tony Stark, and his passion. Are you supposed to be Tony Stark? And you, yeah, you totally look like it. Absolutely. My apologies, Tony Stark. My apologies. But I want to start by showing you a picture that has nothing to do with with Iron Man, okay? Check this out. Nope. No, go back. Isn't there one of Jesus? Oh, never mind. Okay, here, I'm going to show it to you on my iPad. It comes out later. But check this out. Technical difficulties, guys. It happens to the best of us. Check this out. This is a work of art. If you can guess the artist that carved this out of marble, I will give you a hug.
Oh.
I need that hug.
Okay, this is called, hold on. This is called Pieta. And it was by an Italian artist. And it's a carving of Jesus and his death, and his mother Mary holding him on her lap. If you've ever seen this in person, it is one of the most remarkable works of art ever created. This was made like 500 years ago. Hold on. 500 years ago, before any crazy modern technology, and it is an incredible human-sized and human-detailed carving of Jesus and his mother. Now, who can tell me who made this? Yeah?
Me?
Yeah. So who made it?
Michelangelo.
Yes! How did you know?
It's a famous art.
How did you know? But how did you know that he made this?
You like Michelangelo.
I do like Michelangelo. He also made the famous David statue. You know the one where he's naked?
And also that place, like,
yeah. So, what does Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, and Jesus have to do with each other? I don't know. I was just supposed to tie them two together, so I'm just kidding. There's a lot. Especially when we look at Civil War Volume 2. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. So this piece of artwork that I just showed you is called Michelangelo's Pieta. And it's the defining work of art that shows the passion that Jesus had, a passion so strong that it led him to his own death, right? We all know the story, right? No. Jesus loved the world so much, he had so much passion for the world that he did what? He died, right? He gave his life for all of us, right? And so there's no one better in the world to demonstrate what true passion is but Jesus. But today I want to give you another example, and that is Mr. Tony Stark. Now you may be wondering, how can he be a passionate guy? He's such a jerk. Right? He's so full of himself, right? He thinks he's so awesome. But I'm going to tell you that there's so much that we have in common between these two stories. So I want to present to you the idea that we were made, each one of you were made to be men that live passionate lives. Now when I talk about passion, I'm not talking about Tyler Lemming, okay? Like, passion does not mean you're like Tyler, like, all right, come on, yeah, go, let's do this, let's go eat breakfast, yeah. That's not necessarily passion. He's a really excited guy, right? He gets excited about a lot of things, but you don't have to be like him in order to be passionate. What passionate means is to be willing and willing to serve others and to give your life for a cause, even to the point of death. That's what it means to live a passionate life. So to be so motivated, to feel so strongly about something that it leads you to give up even your own life for a cause. But what's the problem? Why do you guys think that a lot of people don't live passionate lives? A lot of people live boring lives, right? Like, dude, wake up, right? I had a teacher, a math teacher in 9th grade in high school. He literally came into class every day and he's like, just sat at his desk like, I hate my life. So what did it make me do? It made me love math. No, it made me hate math, right? If he hated his job as a math teacher, it made me hate math even more. I'm like, why do I want to become like this guy who's got no passion in life? But what's the problem? Why don't people live passionate lives? I think that people are more concerned about living a safe and comfortable life than a passionate life. Most Americans, what they want to do is make a lot of money, have a nice car, have a nice house, a little dog, or a big one, a white picket fence around their house so that they can live a nice, comfortable, peaceful life. But if we are people that believe in Jesus Christ, then we also have to be people that live incredibly passionate lives that put others first so that it can reflect the passion that Jesus had for us. If we follow Jesus and He is who we believe He is, then we are called to live a life like Jesus. And Jesus lived the most passionate life that any human has ever lived. So, can we get back to Tony Stark?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll bring it back to Jesus, right? I'm not trying to put Jesus aside because no one can do that, okay? So let's talk about Tony Stark, a.k.a.
Spider-Man.
Mr. Worldwide.
What time is it? Wow.
It's like
It's 11:51. It's almost tomorrow. So Tony Stark is a.k.a.
Mr. Worldwide.
Iron Man, right? So I want to talk specifically about Civil War II. So if you don't know what Civil War II is about, let me tell you. You're going to listen up. I'm going to just kind of give you the recap of what's going on in that one. So in Civil War II, there's this new character named... No, Ulysses. Ulysses. So, this character named Ulysses, he develops a power that helps him see the visions of the future. He can see into the future, and that's his superpower. And so, after his prophecy helps the Avengers stop this huge threat to the whole world, Tony Stark comes to realize that power is actually more of a curse, and it's actually more dangerous. Because this guy Ulysses, he starts using this power to see the future in order to stop people. So imagine he saw Angel killing someone. He would go to Angel and either kill him or put him in jail before Angel even did anything. So Tony Stark starts to think, you know what, this could actually be dangerous. What if he's wrong? And you put the wrong person behind bars, or you kill them before they do something terrible when they never actually did it. So he starts to say, hey, you guys, don't get too excited about that guy Ulysses. Be careful with his powers. But what happens? Captain Marvel, she creates this group of superheroes that includes him in that. So what happens? This guy Ulysses, he sees a vision where Spider-Man is carrying the dead body, or the body of Captain America. He's carrying him. So he tells everybody, hey, we need to put Spider-Man in jail because he's going to kill someone in the future. And Tony Stark's like, whoa, you can't predict everything. Not everyone is predictable. So what happens? Captain Marvel and Iron Man, they duke it out. They have this crazy battle. I want to show you the crazy battle. So it's not a movie, it's just a picture. Go to the one with the capital. Boom. Oh, back one. Forward one. One more. Go back. Hey!
Really?
Okay, I missed it. Oh well, it's not there, I guess.
It was right
What
there.
happened to my pictures? No, not that one! Okay, Molo, yes, wait. It's not
There was
there.
a video.
Anyways, Captain Marvel, she like throws her powers at Iron Man, and he's like destroyed, and it destroys his suit, and he falls down to the earth. And so now go to that picture. That one, right there. Stay there. So he lost his his little cool suit, right? Sorry, Iron Man. And now he falls to the earth, and it looks like he dies.
Hey, where's his arc reactor?
That's when I had to remove it.
It's underneath. I don't know where it is.
Didn't he take it
So
out?
here's the bottom line. The bottom line is that these superheroes, they split over the basis of what they think about Ulysses' superpower. Iron Man, he's so passionate about what he thinks is the truth he's so passionate about protecting humans and not judging them ahead of time that he's willing to go to war with people that used to be his friends in order to do what is right. So he had so much passion for what he believed was true that he was willing to lay down his life to fight for that thing. So I think Iron Man demonstrates, thank you, Iron Man demonstrates this kind of passion, a passion that is willing to lay down his life in order to protect the world in the future. And that's exactly what Jesus did. This is our scripture for tonight. It's Mark 10:45. It says that even Jesus Christ, who is called the Son of Man, for even the Son of Man, he did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a payment or a ransom for many. So the scriptures tell us that Jesus is like this superhero who came not to be served by people and be famous and be all cool, but instead to serve other people by giving his life passionately for the whole world. So we see that in the Bible, we see Jesus is the most passionate person or human being that has ever existed. And his passion looks like loving people so much that he was willing to lay down his life for others. So, I want to show you the last picture now. And I want to show you why I think, hold on, before you show it. Before you're like, dude, this guy's stretching it too much. Like, how can Jesus be like Iron Man or Iron Man like Jesus? I promise you that when they were designing these comics, when they were thinking about Iron Man, they were thinking about Jesus. They were making a purposeful connection to Jesus. Show them the last image. Check this out. This is a scene where Spider-Man rescues Iron Man, and Iron Man looks like he is dead, and he picks up his body. Okay? Do you see the resemblance to the other picture? It's exactly the same. They designed this exactly the same to look like this picture of a dead Jesus. Like, it's crazy how much detail. Look at his hand right here, okay? Look, same hand. Look at his feet. Look at his hand draping right here. Same thing. His head, how it's turned away. Everything. The illustrators of this comic were trying to communicate the message that Iron Man in this comic is like Jesus, because he was willing to passionately fight for what was true to the point of laying down his life for what he believed was true and for the sake of the future of the world. Are you convinced?
Yes.
Yes? Or is this like Illuminati stuff that, you know, like a hoax or... No, right? I tripped out when I saw this. I was like, whoa, this is insane. Of course, Spider-Man is not Mary or a woman, but, you know, he resembles the care and the compassion that he had for Iron Man. So, just like Jesus showed his passion for us, Iron Man showed his passion for his friends and for the world and gave his life. And if you call yourself a believer of Jesus Christ, a believer in God, then we are also called to show this kind of passion in our everyday living. To love one another and to love people with such passion. Maybe it doesn't look like Tyler, but it may look like Jesus, right? A willingness to give yourself for the sake of others to the point of what? Of death, right? And then maybe Spider-Man will carry you into your grave.
Spider-Man.
I'm just kidding. Is there more pictures?
The real Spider-Man.
I want to show you the next picture. If I even put it, okay, apparently I didn't put all my images on here. But the next image shows Tony Stark dying. It shows him dying, but then they bring him back to life. And what happens when they bring him back to life? He comes back to life like this, look, like, just like Jesus. Jesus resurrected on the third day, and so Iron Man also resurrects from this death. And what happens after this? The world sees an incredible change and people experience transformation. Even Marvel, Captain Marvel, she experiences a repentance. She changes her heart and she becomes sorrowful for what she did in believing in Ulysses, and she becomes repentant. And so that's exactly what happens in our lives as well. When we believe in the forgiveness of Jesus Christ, we experience a repentance, a change of heart. And then what does God do? God lives inside of us now so that we can be passionate people as well. Many people preach this way. Maybe you'll hear one day, hey, you need to try harder. What's your name? Justin, you need to be more passionate, bro. You just don't have it in you. You look so tired. Can you just be more passionate? Can you try harder? A lot of people preach this way, but this is not the right message. The right message is, Justin, I know you're tired, but Jesus now lives inside of you, and He wants to give you the power to be this passionate person. So you're not relying on your own strength or your own willpower, but you're relying on the presence and the power of God's passion inside of you being shown to other people. Does that make sense? So my encouragement to all of you is that we would be young men, I'm still young, young men that recognize that God is inside of you and that He wants to live in you so that you can live an incredibly passionate life. So that you can stand for what is true and what is right. That's hard, huh? Standing for what is true and what is right. But so you can do it through the power of Jesus. So that you could also serve people to the point of death if death is necessary. Don't go die for someone, okay? Like, oh, I love you so much, Justin, I'm going to jump in front of a bus. That's stupid. You don't do that unless it's absolutely necessary. If Justin somehow is playing hockey on the street and a bus is coming, it would look like passion for me to push him out of the way and let the bus hit me. I know it doesn't make sense, but passion looks like that, where you give your life in order to help and to serve other people. And lastly, it looks like demonstrating the passion of God through loving other people. Okay? So I want to close with a story. This happened in Indonesia. Anybody know where Indonesia actually is? Like if I give you a map without words, you know where it is? Can you point it out?
Right there.
Huh?
Pretty close to like Southeast
It's
Asia.
under China.
Yeah.
Under China. China is like in another planet. It's really far. Like if you dig straight down, all the way through, you get to China.
No, you won't. You get to the
Pretty sure.
And then if you keep going, you get to China.
You probably
So here, I want to tell you a true story, okay? Here's the craziest. You want to hear the craziest thing that happened to me in Indonesia? No? Long, long day, us and the team. And there was it's really, really, really hot in Indonesia and really sticky. Like if a fluffy dog that's wet is hugging you the whole time, but he smells, okay?
Wait,
So it's like that.
Is it like humid?
Humid, like 100% humidity, okay? So there was only one room that had an AC. So all of us would go hang out at that room right before we fell asleep so that we can cool down, especially me. So here we are, we're exhausted, we're tired, we're laughing about our day. Oh, remember when he said that? Oh. We're like, dude, you were so good at preaching the word. Hey, you did this. We're tired, right? Like super tired. And then we're like, all right, guys, it's time to call it a night. And what do we hear on the door? Yeah, come in. Pastor Joel, we need you downstairs. I'm like, what do you need me for? Somebody else? One of the children has a spirit inside of them. I'm like, what? I mean, I was so cool. I was like, oh, okay. I'll catch up with you. Okay. So they close the door and I'm like, what? Did they just say that? Okay. So I was like, what do I need? Do I have a gun, a knife? Like, what do I take to this, right? I take my Bible and some oil, right? So I go downstairs, because downstairs is where like 70 kids, like about your age, between 6th grade and high school, they live there. They sleep there. Their parents are far away. They live at the school. It's called a boarding school. So they're like, oh, it's in that room. I'm like, okay, thank you. So, I go into the room and there's a boy, let's see, whose age? Like how old are you?
13.
13? Yeah, like his age. His name is Wanda. And there's this boy on the floor and he's moving like a tiger. I'm not kidding. He's like, right? And I'm like, thank you, Jesus. God is good all the time. All the time. And all the time. God is good. Amen. So the leader, the pastor that lives there, he's all cool, right? He's like, "Hey, Pastor Joel, welcome." I'm like, So I walk into the room. The kid is laying down on the floor, moving around. So I'm like, "Hey, move around." And I'm just observing this leader, right? This leader lives there day and night. He's given his whole life to this mission, right? And he's down there like it's no big deal. Like, sure, I'm here, I'm gonna help. And he's like, and there's like 10 other kids in the room. Y'all would have ran, I know you. But there's 10 other kids. Why? Because they're good friends. And they stayed for Wanda. They stayed and they loved him. And then, so the pastor, he says, "Okay, kids, just want you to know that whatever's inside of him doesn't have any power. It only has the power you give it. So we're not gonna make a fuss about it. We're not gonna yell. We're not gonna get scared about it. We're just gonna pray, and we're gonna wait until Wanda snaps out of it." I'm like, "It's good. Yeah. Okay. Here we go." So I touch him, and I'm just praying, and he's moving around, making sounds like a tiger, and I'm inside. I'm like low key. Cautious. I'm cautious. You know what I mean, right? Cautious, right? I'm just watching my 6, right? My back. And then after a while, we're just praying, and he's moving around, and it's okay. We're not freaking out. And at some point, Parman just says, "Hey, wake up!" And he kind of smacks him in the face, and the kid wakes up, and he snaps out of it. And he just rolls into bed, and he falls asleep.
Bro.
And then Parman the pastor, he's like, "All right, just say your prayers and we'll see you tomorrow morning." And I'm like, true story, okay? And I was just like, dude, this guy Parman, he just had the longest day, and yet he spent an hour late at night just loving this kid, praying over him, preaching God's goodness and His love and His passionate love for this kid, and then he calls it a night. And then it happens the next day. And then it happens the next day. And then it happens another time, 2 kids that night. And each time they call me, I'm in my bedroom, we're all like,
Oh God.
I'm like, "Oh no. Oh.
Which one is it this time?
Wait for me." And I'm like, "Hey, you come with me. Go again." But how can someone do that? How can someone be willing to be interrupted at 11 or midnight, at 12 in the morning? It's only if you're living a passionate life. If you're living a passionate life, and if you have the passionate life of Jesus inside of you, in your own power, you can't do anything. But if you have the love and the passion of Jesus living inside of you, then you're able to answer the door at 11 at night, or at 1 in the morning, or at 3 in the morning. Because it is God's power and His passion that's living inside of you, not your own. So my encouragement to you, brothers, is that you would first receive the passionate love of God, so that you can be able to show that to anyone, whether it is praying for someone who has a demon, or praying for someone who just needs a meal, or for someone who just needs a hug. Amen? All right, let me say a prayer. Would you stand up?